We'll give it another few minutes and then we'll start with some introductions. Welcome.
How are you?
Hey, Bev, how are you?
Good, very good. Always good to be back here Wednesday evening.
I know, and we've got some new friends on today, so I'm excited.
Wonderful, welcome all.
We're going to do some introductions here in a couple minutes, but it's nice to see so many of you.
Hi.
Sounded like somebody's kitty there for a second. Did somebody?
Yeah, that one's mine. He's feeling love deprived
Uh-oh.
for no good reason.
Well, maybe because your hands are busy knitting and not giving him the attention he knows he deserves.
I really do need to figure out how to knit one-handed, but I haven't gotten there yet.
I think that would be talented, but I don't doubt that you could figure it out.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Love you, Rocky. Hello.
Hi.
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 Lots of new faces.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
I have a question, if you don't mind, about.
Hi.
Hi. By the way, hi, I'm Ronnie.
Hi.
I spoke to you Saturday, remember, about that pattern.
That's right.
Right. Well, I have a question about choosing colors. I looked at all the projects on Ravelry, all the notes people made, and some people said color A should be darkest because it's closer to your face. Color B will be the most color that will be seen, and color C is a pop of color. But I haven't a clue. How do you suggest? I've got the yarns, I just can't figure out which color goes where. Dark, light, medium.
So interesting and such a fabulous question. I don't know that you'll love my answer, but and certainly once we get going here as a group, other people can weigh in, and even maybe as we go around and do some introductions, other people can maybe do some yarn introductions as well, you know, like who you are, where you live, what's your yarn. That could be really fun. The thing that I, Ronnie, think about the shift is it's really a fun way to play with color. And my personal philosophy is, if you love it, this is just such a great vehicle for seeing how colors play with each other. And So in my first shift, because I wanted to like get ahead, and if you've seen any of the blog posts or videos, you saw that has a really dark background color.
Right.
And I like that. And I have had some really interesting surprises with this shift, which I'm looking over on the floor because it's blocking right now on my yoga mat. But with my second shift, I was very curious to see what it would look like with a light color background as a main color. So I'm playing in that direction. I think that my thought could be, if you're kind of in the mindset of just wanting to play around a little bit, you could try that, do the setup row and do a little test as you're sort of test swatching for, do you have the right needle size? You could do a little play, with seeing how the stitch pattern looks with your dark in the background. I mean, you'll get to all the colors and all the combos eventually, but I think you could just either go for it and then be like pleasantly surprised, because if you have beautiful yarn to begin with, it's going to turn out great.
Hold up 3.
Yeah.
Thanks. Let me just hold up 3. There's 1.
Yeah.
Which is like a light rust kind of, a dark orange kind of. Then I have 1 that is yellow, yellowish green with blues and pinks.
Excuse me.
And then I have this one, which has a little bit of the first color, as you can see, but also has greens, a darker green, a lime green. So
I think it's going to look very festive.
yeah, well, I also could do charcoal, cream, and hot pink. There's a thought.
That'll be your second one.
That'll be my second one. And so for that one, I know the charcoal will be the dark. The cream and the hot pink, not too sure on.
Oh, those are going to be gorgeous.
Right, but would the hot pink be your blue, and would the
color,
cream be your
the
C?
third color. Use the cream as the second color.
Oh, as B.
Yes.
And use hot pink as C
Yes.
for a pop of color.
Yeah. Gonna be
Okay.
gorgeous.
Okay, so what do you think about these 3? This I really want to knit this in.
Use that orange as 1.
Yep.
As which one?
And that light yellow is 2.
No, A, B, or C.
Oh, sorry. A is the orange, B is the yellow, and C is the variegated, because it's going to change colors as you go.
That's what I would do too.
Really, you think?
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous.
Okay, so A is the orange, B is the
The
light,
yellow. Yep.
and C, which is just a pop of color, is the rainbow kind of.
Yes. Yes.
Well, then, thank you, ladies. Now I'm ready to begin.
All wisdom. That's what we
I'm
offer.
telling you, you know what? And the funny thing is, I'm a really passionate knitter, and I really, I'm very excited about this because I've been wanting to knit the shift forever. And I'll be honest, I attempted it 3 times and got messed up with the counting,
Oh,
and
we're going to talk about that.
Put to the side, and I was in a bad accident, and now I'm home from the hospital and I'm in bed totally. So I thought this will be perfect. I need instruction. I have nowhere to go. And last week, Kinder sent me some yarns. I called up, I said, send them quick. I have a lot of stash. I've got like 1,000 skeins in my stash, but I wanted a painted sock and all that other stuff. So I'm trying to, but I do work from home. But I'm just trying to entertain myself.
Ronnie, that is awesome. And you're sort of kicking off our introductions right now. And
thank you. And I live in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania,
okay.
All right.
where
Perfect.
everyone is skiing today, but obviously not me.
So we've seen Ronnie's yarn, which is great. We've helped Ronnie with her yarn.
Thank you. Thank you. You have.
Now we know where you are. And so just because it's sometimes awkward to figure out who's going to talk next. I think if it's okay with people, maybe I'll call on you and then that'll be easy. So I'm going to ask if you're not speaking to mute just at this phase so that, the way that it works with Zoom and the person who's talking will come up to the front of the camera if you've got your speaker view on, which could be nice when we're trying to get those close-up views of each other's yarn selections. So, okay, I'm going to say, I'm Iris. I'm from the Cashmere Goat here in Camden. I'm super excited to welcome everybody here today. This is going to be a fabulous knit along. It's super awesome to see some new faces. And we're really excited. This is our second knit along. We chose a project that would have just so much fun, options for colors, options for ways for you to get really creative. So I think it's going to be interesting as we go. And so I'm going to kick it off to, let's start with Pat Holloway. You're up. Oh, Pat, you're muted. Can you unmute?
There I am. I thought Lucy wanted to go next.
I'm calling on you. So
Okay, very good.
off you go.
Okay, so I'm Pat Holloway. I live in Central Maryland. And I had to put my 20-year-old baby poodle down today. So I'm not in my best self. I'm just really, really, really sad. So next week I'll be a little more cheerful. But my colors are, and that Ronnie will like this. I have a charcoal as my A. I have a blue as my B. And I need another hand. I have a multicolor as my C. And when I bought this skein, it had this, I don't know if you can see it, there's a red, kind of a red color in the center. I thought the whole skein was that. So I was doing this charcoal, red, and blue. So since the red that I want to be on the edge of the, the part that shows the most is in the middle, I'm pulling from the outside. So I've got this ecru yellow kind of thing going on right now in the top part. I have, let's see if I can show this. I don't know if I can. This is how far I am. So
Wow.
Here's the blue and gray. You can see how it's mixing together. And then that ecru in the gray is that little middle part. I'm loving this pattern. If y'all haven't gotten this far, it's smaller here, and then it gets bigger here. So you're doing single stitches here, and you're doing 2 stitches up for this part. So it gives it a little character. And I found that I was having some trouble with the count as well, especially on the repeats. I would forget that I've already done that part, and it says to repeat 3 and 4, I think. And I would get to 4 and just keep going 5 and 6. And so twice I've had to take out to get back to my count. But I think I've figured out a solution with my sticky notes as I'm following down through the pattern. So if anybody else is having a problem with that, maybe we can address that a little bit. Otherwise, that's who I am. Glad to see everybody. I'm loving the Wednesday nights, and Iris does a fabulous job. You did a great job on that beginning video. Nice work. So, I lost you. I don't know how to get you back here.
Uh-oh.
I got it.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say quick, I'm just going to interject something really small with those repeats. And I might even, if we have little tips, might need to just interject as we go, but I'm going to hold, this is my fresh pattern because my other one for my first one was so terrible, but I've created like a little tiny grid.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I see that.
What I do is I've got like a little, like I've made my own little rectangle and segmented it into 8. And then right next to the repeat of 4, segmented that into just 4 cubes. And I just make a little dot or circle, or you could do a check mark, whatever, as you go. That's how I'm keeping myself on the straight and narrow. So little tip for me on that, but other people probably have good systems too. Okay, so let's see. Next up, we've got, is it Jane? Jane C.
Yep.
Hi,
Hi,
Jane.
everybody.
Welcome.
I am from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and I have chosen the On the Round plush single, which is kind of speckled, but I don't know if you can tell. And that's going to be my first color, or color A. And then I had some stuff in my stash. So this is a kind of a pea green. I'm not sure what it is, but this is going to be hand wash anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I also had some rust, and then I have a ball of hand spun. So I'm going to be putting the hand spun in from time to time in between these 3 with the white in the background. But the white's got like rust and green, and it's hard to see the speckles, but so anyway, that's what I have.
Jane,
And
that's
I-
gorgeous. And that color, it is hard to translate onto the screen, but that is a very beautiful, subtle color.
It's so soft. I really love this yarn. And I'll have enough left over possibly to make a second one, because there's, you know, with a different color combination, because there's 430 yards on it. So it'll be fun. But I've been wanting to use this hand spun that I bought a while ago. And I thought this would be a perfect project for it, because it should show it off. So.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jane. And welcome. And let's see, up next, Barbarina.
Hi there. I'm coming from Montpelier, Vermont. And I have been super busy, so I haven't done a whole lot of background research. So I'm finding the conversation helpful. I've chosen this emeraldy green, which I love. I think it's a koigu. And then I've got a rich pine green, which is from a sheep and wool festival here in Vermont. I think it's a mix of alpaca and some local wool. And then I've got this pop color, which is a hedgehog sock. So for the pop color, what I'm hearing is we want to use that for color C. Okay. Right.
Awesome. That looks like it's going to be really beautiful. Yes, the color C, I didn't realize quite how like dominant it can actually be. So it's interesting, just as and maybe it was just the colors I picked. I think it's just going to be a really fun journey of exploration of color for all of us. Thank you. Okay, next up, Monica, is that you? Monica Mehigan?
Hi, I'm from Maynard, Massachusetts, and I'm looking forward to joining the group here. I selected Malabrigo Yarn Arroyo, and I know the lighting's not good, so I'm not sure what you, oh, there you go. That's gonna be A, that's my base. And then up until this conversation, I have a pearl, and that I'm now going to use is B, and this is called Cirrus Gray. So it's got some greens and blues where the other one's like bluer. So now I'm thinking this is going to be the pop one. This is the one that has some, you know, shading in it. So that's my thought right now, which is good. I'm just starting section 1, row 1. So I haven't gone anywhere yet. So based on what I hear today, this is now what I'm thinking. So A, B, and C. What do you think? I have made the ship shawl, which I really like, but in the end, I didn't like the colors, and I ended up giving it to a girlfriend of mine, which is like amazing because it's a beautiful thing. But I'm looking forward to this being smaller. I like the littler things better, and so I'm hoping I'll like this a lot.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Okay, let's move on to Mary Stewart. Welcome, Mary.
Hi, how are you today? I live in Yarmouth, Maine, so just down the road from the Cashmere Goat. And this is the first time I've joined one of your knit alongs. I appreciate the timing, and I may come up one Sunday to try to see you in the store as well, see how things are going. I have not knit this cowl before, but I love to knit and I'm always got something going. So I'm kind of throwing a kink in this a little bit because I was trying to use stash, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have a set of yarns from Good Karma Farms that I bought when I was up your way one day. And it's called, the colorway is called Oyster. So there's like 3 on the, darker scale of grays, and then 3 that are a little bit more on the tan neutral colors. I'm making this for my daughter who doesn't like to draw attention to herself when she's at work. So I picked out for my pop of color a spin cycle yarn that is called Dead Reckoning. So it's just some burgundies and greens with the neutrals in there. So I'm hoping that will work.
That sounds like it's going to be stunning. I love that Good Karma Farm is so great. I know the folks who used to own it, and I think that idea of neutrals is going to really be just a beautiful, I don't know if you saw that picture of Becca that was in one of the emails where she had the whites and the gray and the dark gray, and it was a really different look. But I think the spin cycle that you're describing sounds like it's going to be a really nice complement to that.
Yeah, so we'll see how it all turns out, but I'm looking forward to embarking on this. I'm on row 3, so not very far. Thank you.
Wonderful. Glad to have you, Mary. And next, Mary Ellen Mulhern. I feel like I should say, come on down.
I'm Mary Ellen, and I'm from Media, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Philadelphia. And I have 3 colors of Malabrigo. This is cream. I'm going with a blue and white theme here. This is Mashita, which is whale's tail or something like that. And this is called Impressionist. And then I have some scraps, stash. This is a Koigu to try to just work in when I feel like it. And I started it, so.
Gorgeous already.
And then this is what I do. I kind of make a plan. I know you can't see it, but I section 1 and I list the 8 rows and check them off when I do it. And I also put the stitch count at the bottom of it, so I have it. And then the other thing I do is when I keep track of what's on the needle, like if I have 50 stitches in here, then I put the markers at the ends, and then you only really have to count the end instead of the whole thing. So that's how I try to keep track of it.
That's great. Thanks, Mary Ellen. It's so good to have you back.
Oh, thank you. You're awesome.
Okay, I don't know who you are, but your name is iPhone on my screen, and you have like a green shirt with some flowers, maybe. Yeah, it's you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pam. I'm in Hamden, Maine. I'm a good friend of Kristen's. And I ordered some yarn, but it hasn't come yet. I was kind of a late bloomer. I also wanted to say something really funny. I wanted to say hello to Barbarina as a side note. I used to babysit for you, Barbarina, like more than 20 years ago. And I don't know if you remember me from Bar Harbor. I used to live on the island. So that's an
What's
aside,
your
but
name?
it's Pam Tremblay.
Oh my gosh,
Hi,
yes.
Barbarina.
Hi, nice
How
to
old is
see
your
you.
son now?
Well, I have 3 sons.
You have 3 sons.
My oldest is about to turn 30, my middle is about to turn 25, and my youngest just turned 20. And then I have a
So
daughter,
your oldest, what's your oldest name?
Carl.
Carl, that's who I used to babysit.
Yeah, and he's about to have a baby with his wife. Oh my
So
God.
I don't want to take over the meeting or anything, but I just thought it was amazing to see you. And I have
Oh.
such fond memories of babysitting for you.
Well, I
and
have
I have
such
a son
fond
who
memories
just-
of you.
I have a son who just turned 22 yesterday. So
Oh, congratulations.
anyway, so I'm a late comer to this. I contacted Kristen the other day and said, I think I want these colors. And she said, well, let's do this. So I'm still waiting for my yarn to come. But in the meantime, I've got a stash of all kinds of stuff. So this is Jagger spun. And I've got this beautiful kind of teal. And then I have this other beautiful blue, which I love. And I usually make fingerless mitts with these and then adorn them with some cool buttons and things. And then I have this other, I'm thinking this might be my pot, but again, I'm waiting for my yarn to come from Kristen. So I'm going to kind of use these as a test yarn because I honestly, the pattern looks a little intimidating to me. I tend to pick easier patterns because I work in healthcare and by the time my day is done, I am toast. And so I tend to, so this is a stretch for me. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. So thank you, everybody.
Well, that is an amazing little knit along moment we just had. Pam, I just want to reassure you a little bit, which is that I myself was a little daunted by the length of this pattern. What you're going to find pretty quickly is that it's real repetitive. I mean, like you're literally just replicating a very similar section by section. And so I think you're going to find that it's a little less crazy looking than it might appear when you're like, oh my God, it's 11 pages long. So I think we'll be here for you too. So
thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, next up is Bev. Hey, Bev.
Well, hello, everyone. I am coming to you from the Scudic Peninsula of Maine. And we woke up to about 4 or 5 inches of snow this morning, and it was just pristine, beautiful. It was perfect. So I am still working on the sweater from the first knit along. And I really look forward to our Wednesday meetings. As I told Iris before, it's the fastest hour of the week. I couldn't get down to the shop last Thursday because of the weather. So I'm hoping to get down there soon. This is one that I had picked out. Can you guys see that? This is also a Machida. Well, that Iris helped me pick out, I should say. And so I'm trying to decide if I should get like, here we go, there's the camera, like an orange and an off-white, but anyway, I hope to get down to the store maybe tomorrow and pick out the rest of the yarn for it. Are you working tomorrow?
I am. That would be fun
cool.
if you came down.
Yeah, I'd love to. So that's where I am. Still working on my sweater, but that's all right.
Well, bring the sweater and bring your skein of Machida so we can really take a look at it if you do come down.
Okay.
Awesome.
Will
Great
do.
to have you. All right, Jay Merrill, you're up next.
Hi, I'm another Jane Merrill. I want to say hi to my sister, Catherine Cars, who's on the call as well. I'm in Camden, Maine, but I got my sister who's in Connecticut to join as well. She's the real knitter in the family. I kind of try. I found that I'm not a finisher of things. So I joined here so that some accountability maybe to finish something, as opposed to the sweater that I started for my granddaughter when she was 6 months old, which I haven't finished, and she's now almost 8. So, but I don't have yarn yet. I plan to come down and get some this weekend. but I've already learned a lot. It's great to hear people's suggestions about keeping track of things and seeing the colors that people are choosing. So it's really helpful for me. So glad to be here. Thanks.
So happy to know we have sisters on this call. Thanks, Jane. Well, next up, we're up to Catherine on my screen. So we've got Jane and then Catherine. Is that the right birth order or not the right birth order?
That is
That's correct. I'm the youngest. Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine. I usually go by Kat, and I'm in Danbury, Connecticut. And I am very excited about this project because a couple of years ago, my father-in-law gave me a gift certificate to a Yarn of the Month club with 3 Irish sisters. So I have tons of stash. And so I have decided to use this one. I don't know if you could see it. This is Sprightly. It's different colors of greens and some blues. That's going to be A. This one, I forget the name of, but this is B. It's got a bunch of different colors in it. And then this is going to be my C, and this is Nectar. So it's like a peach color. That's going to be my pop of color.
Love.
And I didn't get very far. I'm only like here.
Perfect. Well, it's so nice to have you, Kat. Welcome.
Thanks.
All right. Looks like next up we're Melissa. Hey, Melissa.
Hey, I am currently in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I spend 6 months a year up in Maine. And just FYI, I am down to the ribbing on my Ramona sweater. So yay, it is coming along. I am using, and you probably can't see it, I am using Unique Earth that I had bought to make my papillon shawl, and decided I didn't like the colors. And I figure this is something that I probably will just wear to bed, so I don't care what it looks like. And my other 2 colors are black and white, and I'm winging it as to what colors I mix with what.
Love that attitude. I think you're gonna, it's just fun to surprise yourself, I think, too, a little bit. So that's awesome.
And I've done, and I don't know if you can see, I've done this much so far, and I'm really loving the colors. And I'm not a purple person, but it looks good.
Very cool. Thanks, Melissa. Nice to have you back. All right, we're
for
up
doing
to,
it.
Oh yeah. Hey, Linda Black, you're up.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I live in Hope, Maine, just up the
You're my
street from you.
neighbor.
Yeah. And I just wanted to join the video just to get a head start on what I'm doing, because I started my my piece, but I've taken it out like 6 times and started over. So, and each time I have learned something, which is good. But the colors I'm using, this is going to be the A color. It's a variegated. It's really beautiful. And this is my B color. So greens and blue. And then this would be my C. It's a pale yellow. But I want to switch my A color out when I get a certain way down. And then this will kind of be the colors that happen there. So.
Linda, that's awesome. I love those colors. And just so the pattern does have you actually invert the background colors. So there is a point in the pattern that asks you to do that. And I know for myself, when I got there, I actually made like a different choice. I mean, I can't remember which one it wanted me to move, but I ended up choosing the other secondary color. And, so I think you can sort of make those on the fly decisions as well, which is nice.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, and I thought it would come in the store on Sunday anyway.
Awesome. Great. It'll be nice to meet you in real life too.
Yeah, you too. You too.
All right, next up we have, let's see, Nancy's iPad B, and you don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. And, but if you do want to say hello, Nancy, you're up.
Okay. I'm currently in Florida and Inglewood, Florida, but I also have a house on Spruce Head Island in Maine. So you are the store that I come to. And my friend is also, Colleen is also on the knit along, and I encouraged her to do this. So my colors are, can you see this?
No, you're not on camera yet.
Oh, okay. No. What am I doing wrong?
Let's see, if you, are you on a phone or computer?
Computer.
So if you kind of like hover your mouse down towards the bottom of the screen underneath all the Hollywood squares, as we appear, maybe you should see a little menu pop up with, there's a microphone right next to the microphone. There's a video camera.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So great. So this is the teal blue, which is, this is the main color.
Hold it up
And-
again, like a little bit over. Yeah, there we go. Yep.
And then this is a blue and sort of yellow spin cycle color. And then this is the third color, which is the pop color. And I think I'm going to use another color too, which is fine, I'm sure, as I go along. And I have started it. So there it is. And it's really wonderful. And I'm having a great time.
Honestly, it is a little addictive. I will say that. Yeah. And I just had a quick question in the chat from Mary. Slip stitches as if to purl in this pattern. So you're always slipping as if to purl. Yep. Okay, next, thanks, Nancy. I'm glad you're here. Next up, we have Teresa. Hello, welcome back, Teresa.
Hey there. So I'm Teresa. I've got a little bit started here. Just starting section 2 right now. I'm using 3 different on the round plush single skeins, and so my trying to get lighting is this lovely blue. I've got this light purple for my B, and then my C color is this kind of white, kind of blue, kind of green. So yep.
I know that color. It's a really good one because it's like white, but it feels like there's just this frosty, cool. Yeah, that's great. Love those. And you're from, just for everybody?
Oh, right. I'm from Urbana, Virginia. So quite a ways away from Cashmere Goat, but I visit there once a year. And this time when I did, I learned about their last knitting along, and now I'm going on for a second one.
Hooray. Glad to have you. Thanks, Teresa. Next up, we have Becky Bonenfant. Bon enfant.
Oui, it's the French pronunciation. I'm from Saratoga Springs, New York, and I'm a relatively new knitter since the pandemic. I have family in the Mid-Coast area, so that's how I found the Cashmere Goat. And I am attempting something quite similar to the actual pattern. So spin cycle in Lithe, and then Under the Wave, which is different, but kind of in the same tone. And then my pop is going to be Robin's Egg. So pretty excited to be here, and already learned that I shouldn't knit while I'm on the Zoom.
That's amazing. Those colors are really great. You're going to love that. Thank you and welcome.
Thanks.
All right, Lucy Portland, you are up next.
Okay, I wanted to go after, is it Ronnie?
Okay.
Because I'm in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, and I'm only about an hour away from where she lives. And then my niece lives in Madbury, New Hampshire. So when I come and visit her, we always wind up eating in Portsmouth.
Oh my gosh, so great.
And I studied I did some graduate work at the University of New Hampshire, so I spent summers on campus up there. So I'm using a fingering. Is it Malabrigo? Machada. Machada. So I'm using, and I started it as soon as my yarn came. So I made Oro, my main color, and I made Galaxy, my color B, and I made Reflecting Pool, color C, and I don't know. That's where I am.
Nice.
And I only wanted to do a little bit this morning because I'm on my sleeves on my second Ramona, which also fits well. And I want to get my sleeves done so I can actually wear it. So I did a little bit, but then once I really wanted to see how color C was going to blend. So then I had to keep going.
See, that's what I mean about addictive is like, you just can't stop. You're like, okay, one more, just one more little section. Let me see how that looks.
Well, after this Zoom, it gets put away because Ramona comes. Ramona has to come first. The sleeves have to be finished.
It's you got to rein yourself in on the shift.
Yes. So that's where I am.
That's great, Lucy. I'm really glad you're here. You're back here with us. All right, next up we have, looks like Teresa's iPad.
Hi, I am in Weatherford, Texas.
Woo!
But I lived in Camden, Maine for years and actually learned to knit at the Cashmere Goat. So I still follow you guys. Still have lots of friends that go in person there and know Kristen well. So I actually got my yarn and the pattern in 2020 at the Cashmere Goat. And I'm making a fingering weight in Marisol, and I only have colors A and C because that's what I was working on, red and blue. And guess what my other color is? It's an off-white. So it's going to be a red, white, and blue one. And I originally got it because I wanted a small KAL to wear on the 4th of July in Maine. So I wanted fingering weight, and that's why the colors are what they are, but I wanted to use my stash. So
Great, Teresa, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you're joining us. All right, next up, Kathy's iPad. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm in Virginia. I have been to the Cashmere Goat a few times. I have a friend who lives in Camden and I have visited her in the summer. I have not picked my yarn yet. I need to watch the videos. I did attempt the night shift shawl, which I think is a bigger version of this, a couple of years back, and I wasn't happy with the colors. I used Noro, Curion, and I wasn't real happy with the colors. So I'm hoping that I'll pick new yarn and use this as a learning experience and hope that when I get back to that, I've learned some tricks.
That's great. And remind me of where you were from. You said it and I just missed it.
I'm in Sterling, Virginia.
Okay. Yep. All right. I'm kind of keeping track because I want to fill Kristen in later about who joined us. Well, thank you and welcome. Next up, we've got Robin. Hi, Robin.
Hi. I am a relatively new knitter, so I realized in the last couple of days when I've been studying your videos that I jumped into the deep end. So anyway, we'll see what happens, but I'm going with kind of a subtle look. The colors are similar in value, but different. These are, I don't know, can you see that? There we go. It's kind of an icy blue. This is the Marisol Nunya. This is a kind of a purplish, blue purple one. This is a deep green. And this is like a grayish green. And I did start, and I empathize with the person who already said that she took hers out about 6 times. Like I'm that far, and I really struggled with the setup, but then I came back to it this morning. I was like, oh, okay, now I'm getting that. I've never worked in such small yarn or small needles before, so it's a little awkward for me. But I'm anxious to see what happens. And oh, by the way, I live in Friendship in Maine.
Oh, a near neighbor. Awesome. That looks wonderful. And maybe you can pop up some Sunday or Wednesday night. We also have knitting group if you want to come for that. It's a drop in from 4 to 7, but I'm glad you're joining us. I think it'll be a really great pattern for expanding some of your skills, and we'll just try to keep the tutorial videos coming.
That really helpful. Thank you for providing those. It's like, and good. And I turn the speed down like halfway so you sound drunk. You talk really slow, it goes slow so I can see it, and you just happen to sound drunk, that's all.
Okay, well, now you're hearing my regular voice too. All right, well, thank you. Next up, we have Colleen. Hi, Colleen.
Hi, I currently live in Alpharetta, Georgia. I had lived in Maine for many, many years. And I'm Nancy iPad's friend. And she told me about this, and it sounded like fun. A good time to visit with her as well. I have been knitting for a long time, but get stuck in some of the things that I know and can do quickly, and so this is sort of a stretch, with I really have to follow the instructions. But anyway, I selected a let's see the color. This got a common brown hair with an alpaca, and it's the right shape. And then I got this sort of a, where's, how can you see? That's a sort of a green.
You're a little bit muffled when you're holding the yarn up. Maybe don't hold it quite as close.
And there's the multicolored one. So those are my choices.
Beautiful.
Sort of a brownish greenish combo.
Love that. Great. Welcome. And thank you for being here. Hey, Molly, next up, it's you.
Hi. Iris knows me. I live in Lincolnville, so I'm very close to Cashmere Goat, and really, basically I did the Ramona. I'm on my 2nd sweater. I picked up a lot of skills thanks to everyone there. I am now also addictively knitting this pattern. So this is where I am. I'm using Malabrigo. It's like a mustard color fingering weight, and then a rainbow blend and kind of like a pinky purpley blend. I do have a 4th color that I'm considering. It's a like hazy gray. But I did have a quick question because I'm not sure exactly how you work in the 4th color. So I was just hoping for some insight on that if we have time.
I'll just answer that super quick, which is like, you can
Whenever.
do anything goes, right?
That's kind of how I felt.
For my 2nd shift, now that I've sort of got the structure, I've been kind of sketching out some options because I am using a 4th color. And so I'm in my mind, if I have insomnia at night, which sometimes I do, I just sort of like shuffle through my colors, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like it'll be like, okay, section 1 is white with light gray, and section 2 is that's my brain on knitting in the middle.
No, that's great. Yeah. I like my colors, so I'm trying to figure out how many I can fit in there at a time.
I think the sky's the limit. I think you could really go wild. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Glad you're here. Next up, we have Donna Carson. Welcome, Donna.
Hi. It's my my first knit along, which I'm excited about. And
You guys are all making me homesick because I might be one of the few Southern California people who would rather be back in New England. I used to live in Vermont and I still have relatives out in New England. So my sister-in-law sent me yarn from the Cashmere Goat to make her, what did I make her? A cowl. And I've ordered several times and you guys ship to me. So it works out great. Colors are probably hard to see. The common color in the three of these is like a plum. So it's sort of navy with plum and then teal with plum and then plum with plum.
Beautiful. And that your lighting was great on those. Those came through really well.
And then just for, we have an extra. He's sitting, this is Picasso.
Oh,
And he's sitting
welcome.
here right next to the computer the whole time, just, so we have a boy in our midst.
Excellent.
So
Welcome,
thank you.
Donna. Thanks for
Thanks.
being here. Jill, somehow I missed you. Sometimes occasionally the Zoom shuffles people, but I think I missed Jill. Jill, hop in.
Hello, everybody. I'm in Catstein, Maine, and here are my colors. This will be A, which is a variegated blue. This is B, which is various shades of purple. And this is C, which is various shades of pink and purple, magenta. They are fingering yarns, which I plied to make them a little thicker. And it came, and doing that really turned out well. One thing though, I was surprised at as I cast on and started knitting with blue and purple, I really think I need more contrast. So I may change my colors.
Mm-hmm.
But can this be knitted with fingering yarn?
It absolutely can. Yep. In
It
fact,
seems a little heavy, you know?
yep. So the original is for sport, I think, in the pattern, but the shop sample that we have is in fingering and it's really lovely. And I think it works well in fingering. It makes a slightly closer fitting cowl. It's not quite as big as the one that Andrea has on in the pattern picture. But yeah, I think what I was thinking with the fingering weight, which was my first one, is like, it's a 4-season cowl, you know, you throw it on and it's lighter, and yeah, so you absolutely can.
I think that would be better for an indoor cowl.
Yep.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have you with us, Jill. Glad you're here.
Oh, by the way, I have ordered from you through the mail and you've been fabulous. Not only that, I run a bunch of Zoom knitting groups and with people across the country, and you sure have got a good rating from them. And kind of the reason I decided to find you was because someone from Maryland told me you were fabulous.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh, I love that.
You're famous, as you know.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
So,
All right. Well, next up we have Alice. Hello, Alice.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Hi there. I'm from just north of Austin, Melrose. I'm a frequent flyer at the Cashmere Goat. So I actually just was talking to Kristen last week or the week before about something else. So said, oh, I've had this pattern for a while and I haven't done it. And I've got a million things on my needles that I'm doing, but I jumped in. So I am using some stash yarn. My son had been to Iceland a few years ago. So I've got this sort of needy, then I have just one of the Schopel gradients. So I'm going to do that. And I don't have my third color with me. I don't know that I've completely decided. It's either going to be sort of a mint or maybe sort of an ivory, but it'll probably be one of the yarns that he brought back from Iceland. So yeah, but it's a pleasure to see everyone and quite a few people attending. It's awesome.
Also, I just have to say, Alice is a knitwear designer, and we have some of her beautiful samples in the shop. And tell me what your Ravelry name is again.
So my Ravelry is Birch Tree Knitting.
Right.
Yes. So
And
Birch Tree Knitting. And actually, I have a test knit currently going. So anybody wants to jump aboard, it's for my first cardigan. So
I think Kristen just showed me that actually. And also, so will you put a link in the chat to your adorable blueberry jam hat that
Oh, I
everybody?
don't know if I can, you're testing my skills here, but yeah, I think I can do that. Hold on and I'll see if I can do that. Just give me a few minutes.
Sure. I'm
Yeah.
super happy you're here, Alice. Thanks for
Yeah.
being
Yes, so we're up in Maine a pretty fair amount, in part just because, why not? It's the best place ever, Cashmere Goat.
Aw.
Wonderful community. Okay, but I will let you talk and I will pull that up for you at some point.
Thank you. All right, let's see. On to my page 2, and this is where it gets a little bit funky. Danielle, welcome.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I live in Castine, Maine. So not too far from the Cashmere Goat, but I have 2 little kids, so getting there is kind of hard. But we were there a few weeks ago for a hike and we popped in and I got some yarn. So I've not got much knitting done because I do most of it when I'm nursing and it's hard to follow a new pattern when you're nursing. Like, so I got to get it started and then I can do it in the middle of the night. But my main color is, this is the Malabrigo Arroyo. It's called Prussian Blue. And then I have this, let me see it, is, I think it's Patagonia, like the Juniper Moon maybe. Hey. And then this is going to be my color C, which is also the Patagonia, but it's the hand knit one or the hand painted one. Hey, so quiet. So I'm excited and I'm hoping to maybe get down in person for one Sunday, but depends on these two's willingness to let me get away.
Well, we're super happy you're here. And nursing and knitting can be a little bit hard on the hands, as I remember. It was a long time ago for me, but you know, your body mechanics are a little funky, but it can, if there's a will, there's a way, right? Awesome. Thanks for being here. And let's see, it looks like Susan Mulbert.
Hi there, y'all. I'm from the New Orleans, Louisiana area. I've been into Cashmere Goat a few times. My daughter lives in Waterville. I'm a relatively new knitter, although I did knit the Ramona, the cardigan. I started it prior to y'all's knit along. I came in with it. I had it on. I actually spoke with you. Yeah. And you helped me. And I bought like a lot of yarn then. And what was it? Sea Slug I got. You helped wind it for me. Anyway, so I am able to start this one as y'all are doing it. So I'm super excited about that. So what I got from you guys, I ordered it. I watched the live unboxing of it on a snow day, I believe y'all had. So I'm going with, it's all Malabrigo, Under the Sea. That's going to be color A. Color B, what is this? Moon Trio Full.
Yes.
Someone from the shop had sent me a picture of these 3 together, and then color C will be Vulcan. I'm hoping for the best. They're all beautiful colors. Hope they work well together.
I think they're going to be gorgeous. Those look like an incredible trio. I couldn't believe that Moon Trio Full. I'd never seen that colorway before, and it was really, really interesting. It kind of looked like a party in a skein of yarn.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm in the land of Mardi Gras. Well, Mardi Gras is over now, but if there's going to be yarn that's a party, it should live in Louisiana around my neck.
I love that attitude. That is awesome.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad you're joining us because I remember the last
time too.
You were like, oh, well, I just finished my Ramona. So it's great that you're on board.
I'm so excited. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right. I think, is it Meryl? And you don't have to have your camera on and you don't even have to speak if you don't want to, but Meryl, hi.
Okay. I'm driving, which is, I'm not looking at you. I periodically peer over. I live in Portland and I have just driven my relatively new to me giant camper van to Florida, where I'm taking a professional workshop. And I brought my she bought me the pattern to like do it along with her. And I started it, I think, pre-pandemic and knit like this much and haven't really moved forward. So thank you for having the knit along, because I am going to be back home and in the cold again and knitting. And this is spurring me to work on that long languishing project. I have
Awesome.
black and magenta. I forgot the third color.
Okay, so black and magenta and something else, but you can fill us in on a future Zoom. That would work too.
Great. Thank you so much for doing this. And I hope to make it do it in person once I'm back in May.
That'd be fantastic. It's great to have you here and welcome.
Thanks so
Okay,
much.
so I think that, is there anybody that I missed, first of all? Anybody that we missed? I think we got everybody.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt 1 second? Sorry.
Do you want to show us your other combo?
Yes, I would like to, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
because I only have one question. I told you about the charcoal and hot pink.
Yep.
And it's a choice for the third color of just cream or a cream with little charcoal speckles.
I see a lot of head nods for the cream with charcoal speckles. And so I think we've got some group agreement on that one, Ronnie.
So the charcoal will be the A, the dark color. The speckles will be the B, and the hot pink will be the C, the pop of color.
Sounds beautiful.
Hey, I'm in now. Now I've got two to do.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, everyone. Sorry to have disturbed you. One more question. Does anybody live near Freetown, Maine, where Erin French has the Lost Kitchen? Freedom,
Wow.
Maine.
Freedom. Yeah. I mean, we're not super far from there, but we haven't ever been.
I send a postcard every single year, and on the postcard, I decorate with little knitting needles and things, and I say, if you will let my friends and I come for dinner any night that you say, I will hand knit a gift for you and each of your staff.
That is a really good enticement.
10 years hasn't answered yet, but
Ah.
one day, that's okay. That's right, but I swear I have them already knit. I'm ready to go with shawls.
You're ready to go with shawls. I love that. Ronnie, that's amazing. Thank you. I'm so glad you asked your color question.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This group is, I think we've got some discerning eyes, and there was definitely some excitement on that.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah. So Alice did put in a couple links to her gorgeous hat patterns. Super, super adorable. And then now there's the raspberry jam hat, which is also cute. But anyway, so check out those patterns. And Jill in the comments, and we talked about this in a previous part of the Ramona Zoom, that Knit Companion it's an app for your phone, is supposedly really helpful. I have not used it myself. Jill, do you want to talk it up to us a little bit?
Well, first of all, I'm not an advanced user of Knit Companion. I just use the basic stuff, but it's pretty easy. But one thing that's really handy is, I don't know if you can see that, the light's bad because dark has come on here, but I'm on row 3 of the first repeat, and I've been keeping a stitch count and just keep adding it in as I go. And it's about as handy as writing things down, only the good thing is you always have your phone with you. And one thing I found, my phone has a little foot on the back so that I can set it up on the table like that. But one thing I found is that it's very handy to turn it sideways and just work along. And I found with this particular pattern, it's been very helpful. Most patterns aren't different every single row, unless it's a chart. But I found Knit Companion really worked well for this, and I've just been fooling with it this afternoon. So it's a suggestion. It's free.
Free, nice idea. And I think it was that app that when we spoke about it in one of our other Zooms, someone said what's also nice is that your phone doesn't go to sleep when you're using it. So you don't have to keep like turn my phone on again. Is that correct?
I don't have mine set up to go to sleep, so that wouldn't be a problem. That's one of the choices you make in your settings.
Perfect.
So, but yeah, it's free. In some of my knitting groups, we've decided that it's really right to support designers. So we've all subscribed to the advanced version. It's $20 a year, and it helps out to keep it going. And so it's for little business, and maybe it'll keep going.
That's great.
Anyway, just wanted to share that.
Appreciate that. We love sharing tips. We're knitters. I'll just hold up my very, very teeny tiny. It's a cream color Patagonia with a light gray Kathmandu fingering. Kathmandu fingering is one of those yarns that's it is very, I think it can kind of go both ways. I would consider it a heavier fingering, so I felt like it was going to be fine working with the Patagonia, which is definitely a sport. So even though I'm kind of crossing streams here with sport and fingering, it seems pretty friendly. And Ronnie, I'm kind of onto what you're thinking, which is I'm going to use 4 colors. And so I have the one that's the ivory Patagonia, and then I have this light heather gray, which everybody who knows my Ramona knows that light heather gray is my default color. So this is not going to be a primary color. But I'm using this beautiful smoky gray, which is, these are lovely, lovely tweedy heathers. And then the pop of color is this, you can't see it in this terrible lighting, but it is a beautiful fuchsia.
We are together.
Yeah. So we'll be twinning. And then I'll see if my other shift is maybe ready to hold up. It was just been blocking. Yeah, it's pretty dry. So this was 2 colors of Machida. So it was the dark background color is, I think it's Azul Profundo. The rainbow flecks are Anniversario. And then the teal is one of the on the round nimble sock. And that's actually a 2-ply versus the Machidas are single ply. And I think it just adds sort of an interesting difference in texture. But the thing that I felt myself surprised by was how when you hold it back, that teal color really does come through so strongly. I love it, but I don't know that I expected it. And then this crazy fun middle section where the pattern asks you to change the background color, it was just really surprising and bright, and I love it. So
Me too.
Still a little wet, but I'm going to actually take this into the goat. I'm not going to seam it. I'm going to take it in and just sort of leave it there for folks to, wrap your mind around and maybe measure. But again, this is fingering, so you can see it is a bit smaller than the one that Andrea has on in the pattern.
Would you knit, if you're knitting it with fingering, would you knit with a size 6 needle instead of a 5, which they wanted you to do with sport weight?
Fingering is smaller than sport. Right. So I used a 5 for this one with fingering, and I'm using a 6 with this fingering, which I think is a little more towards sport, but I'm liking how it's knitting up on a 6.
Right.
Yeah. Wow, we're just past 6 o'clock. I'm like looking at my clock, and Bev is totally right here. Where did the hour go? Well, it's super amazing to have you all here with us. And Sue, I'm sorry, you hopped on a little late or I didn't see you, but hi, Sue. It's good to see you for a minute anyway. Sue's right here in Camden.
I spaced. It's okay. I've been sick anyway, so.
Okay, well, we'll hopefully feel better for next Wednesday, and we'll catch up with you more then.
Okay.
Well, I hope that we get to see you all next week. I think this is going to be a really fun knit along. I mean, especially because I think it sounds at least like so many of us are already addicted to this pattern. Like I'm thinking it's going to be like a multi-shift situation. And by the end of the month, who knows how many shifts there will be in the world more. But I really love seeing all of you, hearing where you're from, love the connections we have in this community already. And just one note is that I'll usually be sending out a shift email on a Sunday and on a Tuesday and try to keep them kind of short, but just sort of updates or anything new that I think you should know about, and pictures, of course. So anyway, we'll hopefully see you next Wednesday. And for those of you local, maybe we'll see you in the shop soon.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
I love all of you.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you. And thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a
Great
question.
to see you. Oh yeah, hi, I'll stay on.
Okay, I have a logistics question. So is it going to be the same Zoom link every Wednesday?
It will be the same Zoom link. And what will happen is I will always like have a little section that will be just a reminder in the email, just like join us in the shop on Sundays, join us on Zoom. Here's the link. So it won't change. It's too confusing. Gosh, yeah, no.
Fabulous.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, do you think you'll ever hear back about that pattern?
You know, I haven't been in the shop. I'm going to be in the shop tomorrow. And I'm going to just double check on the shop email.
No rush, no
Yeah.
rush, because I'm hot into this now. But that pattern was so magnificent. I just loved it.
I'm really glad that you reached out with that question, and I will definitely check, and I might ping them again to see if they were able to find that out. They were super sweet.
Hey, when I get invited to the Lost Kitchen, I will come up and see you. I love Maine. I spent many summers in Maine. I'll come up and see you, and I'll bring you all the shawls I knit for her and her 9 people on her staff.
All the shawls. Perfect. We love all the shawls. Ronnie, I hope you're doing well, and I'm so glad you joined us tonight.
Oh, let me tell you, this is the highlight of my week.
Oh, that's so
Believe
great.
me, believe me. I'm working from bed since I'm working from home, and I'm working from bed. But you know what? I have electric beds. I have to keep my legs completely elevated. So here I be, totally. And I'll be honest about, yeah, I'm working from home, and I'm in a million Zoom meetings. But guess what? I'm knitting. Nobody can see your hands. I'm knitting the whole time.
So great, right? So great. Oh, good. Well, I'll see you.
Thank you for having me, and say hi to Kinder.
I sure will. I'll see you
So
next
sweet.
Sunday.
She's
Yeah.
so sweet. And goodbye, everybody. It was a pleasure. Believe me, highlight of my week for sure. Thank you.
Definitely. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next week, Ronnie.
Thank you. And I did watch all your videos prior to coming
Oh,
in.
good. Great.
Now I'm going to cast on, and I'm going to hopefully do well.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Be safe.
Thank you. Bev, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, you're muted.
I hope so too. As long as the weather holds, we'll be there.
Seems like maybe tomorrow's gonna be a little snowy, maybe like flakes, but I don't know any accumulation.
Yeah, it's snowy. Well, they're not giving much. I think the only thing I've seen is less than an inch, and I think we're going to alternate between rain and snow.
Yeah.
So
Good. Well, look forward to it.
me too. Very much so.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You bet. Good night.
Good night.